Greetings! We're back for another video on templating the new conscious earth. And again, my Facebook Live button is not working. So I'm being taken out of the conversation one-on-one directly right now with you guys, but please comment if you have something. So I'm seeing a lot in the last couple of days, maybe inflamed by the full moon, a lot of political stuff on my feed. And sometimes that's the case, and other times it feels more inflamed. So I want to speak to this particular template, this structure that we have, and also what we would like to move to and how do we do that. So everything has to be a thought first. So if you want to create a new reality for yourself, you have to have the thought about it, and then you have to follow those thoughts through with the correct emotions that want to align with it. If it's something you really want to bring into your life, you got to get a little excited about it. Maybe you got to sing its praises, kind of say it into your reality. Use the word, and then you have to do actions in that direction. You have to steer your behavior so it's in alignment with the thing that you're proclaiming. And then you have to repeat. You have to keep doing this in order to change the previous module, which created whatever it is that was in front of you already, and move to change, to experience a different reality. So, you can say, I want to change my room around. I want my room to look different. And wouldn't that be great if my room looked different? And you can keep saying, wouldn't that look great? And I want it to be, but if you never make any steps to actually move it, then it's not going to do anything, right? But the same thing is true if you never even have the thought, you're never going to move in that direction. If you continue to speak about your room like, I don't like my room, or there's problems with my room, that's generally going to get greater as well. So when you're working with a template, you want to know that you are a conscious creator. You want to know and own that you have the capacity to shift the structure that you have your attention on. And so at the level that we're working, or we have the potential to work, there's nothing really out of our reach to change, but we have to own that we have the potential to change it. And you've seen many times one person making one action can make major change. So right now, the action step is to look at the existing structure and, first of all, to become unreactive to it, to see if it is working and who it is working for. And so when you're able to look at what that structure is working toward and for, then you can understand that there is some energy intention going in that direction, some location on the grid, some location in the field, or else it would not be that way. So there's consciousness creating that structure. But on every level of creation, there is the passive creator where you don't recognize that you have anything to do with creation. And so the other intentionalized creations dictate what you're creating. So if you're going into a system and it's telling you what the system looks like, and you're feeding into it with your actions, you're being an unconscious creator. You're still creating because your energy is always creating, but it's going in the direction of somebody else's intention, somebody else's structure pattern. And they're, I have to say, a little bit higher up on the creation scale in this module because they know that their intention creates, and they're directing those who are not conscious of that toward their creation. And we might call this, quote, evil, but it is just awareness of how creation module works. So yes, it can be categorized as black magic because it's for their own purposes. And you can categorize as white magic to be for the purpose of all. And that is a label that helps people to understand, certain dynamics. But you can also just look at it straight up as intention, whatever your intention is, and you have power, energy behind it, you have source behind it, and source is coming through every single one of us. So we're all accessing source power. We're just either accessing it consciously or unconsciously. And if we're accessing it unconsciously, then we are fueling those who are using their intention consciously. That doesn't mean they're doing it for the good of all. It just means they're aware they're doing it. So then there is the level like for the good of all, because we begin to understand at that level that the good of all means the oneness. We're all part of this whole picture. So if we're looking for the good of all, we're not wanting to harm any part of the structure. We know that it feeds itself. It is self-regenerating. It's self-renewing. So if there's a piece of the structure or in the body, like a part of the body that only is self-serving, has the intention to be, say your shoulder suddenly got an ego and was like, I'm going to be the biggest shoulder ever. And it, like, its intention, this is silly, but just go with me, like the shoulder grows because it suddenly, like, what if the rest of the body just didn't know? It just, the shoulder seemed so sure of itself that it could get bigger that the rest of the body started feeding it because they weren't really thinking about it. They started like giving some of their energy to it. So there is this growth. And once it becomes aware that the body is out of whack, then the intention can go back and fluidly distribute itself in the good of the whole formation, where you recognize that if one part of the body is healthy, then all parts of the body are healthy when they're all taken into account. There's consciousness in the whole body, and the whole body has its own job, but the whole body is also aware that it's in consort and cohesion with the rest of the body. So in humanity, in the organism that we are collectively, we have to also remember that it's for the good of all, including the people that we have maybe deemed evil or bad. Like, they're still part of the equation. So in retemplating in the bigger system, when we become conscious that we're doing that, then we're desirous to see structures that benefit the good of all. And we can understand that an organism that works together takes care of itself. So when we start naming what these structures look like within the conscious earth grid, we have to recognize, first of all, the problems that we've had, like not enough food, people homeless, like, people starving, families not feeding enough. Like, there's a basic needs module that hasn't been being fulfilled. It's like the first chakra of the planet has been blocked. So we've been experiencing what it feels like in that previous module to not be healthy, to not be working right, to be blocked, to be clogged. So in the new reality structure, we are simply, I'm realizing in this moment that we're really just upgrading the chakra system of the consciousness of this whole experience. So we want to experience an awakened first chakra of the planet, of existence as a human organism together. So that looks like there's plenty for everybody. There's more than enough for everybody. That looks like everyone's safe and secure. Everyone has what they need. And that looks like abundance for all. And there really is plenty. I mean, there's more than enough. If you've ever needed something and it's attracted to you, or, geez, just go to the secondhand stores or the used car lots, or like anywhere, you realize that even though we're pumping out new all the time, like there's plenty right now for everybody. There's plenty of food, there's plenty of air and prana and oxygen. I mean, this is made to be a self-sustaining organism that's just gotten out of balance. It's been experiencing scarcity around everything. Like, oh, I need to take because there's not enough. Like right now I'm saying, oh, I need to destroy national monuments because there's oil underneath it. Like this is a thing. Even though we know in this bigger picture, we already have all these different options and opportunities for natural energy. Energy that doesn't require us to like dig up the planet. Energy that is free. And so this is recognizing not a closed system or a blocked system template. This is like the nadis, the energy pathways blocked, feeling suffocated, feeling you have to like strangle something in order to get energy out of it. But it's just a relaxation in the body. If you want energy to move, it's a relaxation. And so the clamoring around finances for energy has been one of, not being aware, not being relaxed and open and surrendered and conscious of that there's plenty for everybody. It's the experience of a closed chakra consciousness, first chakra consciousness. So, what really helps with re-templating is what we just keep saying, working on the self. Our first chakra correlates with the planetary experience of first chakras. So the more we individually open the center, relax the center, allow the center free-flowing energy, and that can be as easy as like moving the hips, like, relaxing the body, doing Mula Bandha locks, which is a clenching of the, floor, the basic pelvic floor, until you begin to feel that it's actually a psychic contraction, but you begin with the same sort of contraction if you were stopping the flow of urine. It's a little bit different of a lock, but similar. Or women, Kegel muscles, that helps you to tune in to that first chakra lock. So as you are relaxing and contracting, it is very helpful to know that a closed root chakra equals constriction around money, constriction and like clenching or worrying about basic needs. And we've seen this, and we have like scripting for this in our language. People call someone a tight ass if they think that they're not fluid with their money. And that's because actually the metaphor of a tight first chakra area does not allow cosmic energy to flow, and it does not allow one to feel relaxed, knowing there's plenty and it's always flowing, that the universe moves in tides and waves. There's a bunch and then there's less, and then there's a bunch and then there's less. And when there's less, it looks like there's nothing, just like when the tide goes out. It sucks everything out. But then a bigger wave comes, and we feel that wave of abundance. And this is the pulsing, actually, of the entire universe. This is the tube torus of our existence, of our personal field, of the planetary field, of every cell in our body's field. This is where we access this free energy for ourselves, is getting that flow of Kundalini going back through our bodies, back through our, system. And, we can talk about that more on a one-on-one if you're interested, but this is the templating exercise for today, is to open and move that first chakra. I have other videos on this. I have articles on basmati.com about opening this first chakra and why it's so important for the Kundalini awareness to move through us. But in this moment right now, I'm recognizing how very important it is for planetary awareness, for templating a new earth, that our Kundalini personally is open and active. And this first chakra is critical. All right. I want to end this, though, having said that, and knowing that when opening any chakra, that it's very important to have the observer mind cultivated. And so I think that's why I'm doing these videos. This video is kind of acting like the observer mind, I guess. It's like helping bring a light to all this planetary change that's like the chakras of the planet opening and why it looks like it does right now and how we can move through it gracefully.